Let's talk about our chart settings. So if you see our mouse here, we're hovering over the settings icon and we click it. And here is our chart settings. The menu to the left, symbol, status line, scales, appearance, trading, and events. And what we will do in this video is go through each of these menu items in the chart settings. And as you can see, if you drag and hold your chart settings box, you can move it around your chart, which is really helpful if you want to make edits as you watch price trade. So let's start from the beginning. Remember, right click, settings, and here you are. There's also a settings wheel here at the bottom where you can make some quick adjustments to your price scales and your time scales. And there's also a settings button here that you can click. Okay, let's start with symbol. So symbol, as you can see, represents the symbol on the chart. So look at these candles here. That should help you understand. We can make edits to these candles. So let's go over each of the options available to you. Color bars based on previous close. Watch these bars and the way their color changes when we check this box. See that? Red, red. Watch now when we uncheck it. Green, green. So this is coloring the bars based on the previous close rather than the open and close. So for those who understand that, you are just changing the color based on if the price is above the previous close or if it's above the open. One click will do that. Next up, we can now customize the body, so the body of the candle, and that would represent the inside fill here. We're going to zoom in a little actually to make this slightly easier for everyone. So the body is this fill here. We click, and as you can see, it empties out. So you can make hollow candles. The color palettes here are how you change the color of that body. So yellow. So now you've just created yellow. Let's undo that. Or for red, so here's the red candle. Maybe we prefer to see black. Now we can have a black candle as our red. And if we do borders, uncheck, you won't see that because the borders are the same as the body, but watch what happens when we select, say, blue, or when we select, say, yellow, and the tint is very low, but if we zoom in, there's actually a yellow around this and a blue around this. So why don't we do black, and now you can really see the black outline here, and that is in this color region. You can just select a new border. So if we were to do, say, purple, there's a very light tint of purple now as the outline on this candle. Let's go back to normal. We're just walking you through what each of these mean. And as an example, let's say you hide the body, select borders, and then change the color, say, to black and to yellow. Now, as you can see, you've created hollow candles with these different outlines. All right, the wick, self-explanatory. The wick is going to be this area here on the candle. So if you unselect wick, it disappears. Click it again, and now you can change the color of your wick, and you can get as creative as you please. All of these colors are available to you. Just select the color menu and then select your color. By the way, what we are showing you here applies to just about every chart option, whether it's bars, candles, hollow candles, line, you get it. You can update and change all of the look and feel of your chart in the settings. So this is symbol, and remember, these candle icons represent that we are changing the symbol itself. Okay, now a few more tips and tricks here are last price line. So if we zoom in, you're going to see a dotted price line appear. Watch this, last price line. See this dot? This dotted red line shows us the last price and of the traded asset that we're looking at. And when you uncheck it, watch these dots disappear. Gone. Check it again. There. So we can watch the last price line live on our chart, see how it's moving. In fact, what we will do is we will go to a lower time frame for this example, 30 minutes. And let's hide our volume profile or just remove it. And now we really have a zoomed in look at the price action, as you can see. So let's go to settings. And here is another cool thing about this is you can adjust the line thickness. So watch these dots and how they change as we go through the thickness options. Not as visible, slightly more visible, very visible, see that? And now extremely visible. Let's keep it here for now. previous day close price. Now what this is going to show you is where price was the previous day, and you can easily see that on your chart. See it here. So what we're doing now, which is pretty cool, is we have our last price line here. See it going across our chart. And now what we're doing up here is we have a previous day close price line. So now we can watch price in real time on our chart with the previous day's close also on our chart. So you can see, are we above or below the previous day close? Let's go to settings. If you're watching a stock, for example, and it trades with pre and post market hours, this is what this region will do. We are recording this video at a time when the market is open. And remember, the market is open 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And so if you were looking at a chart, say at 7:30 a.m. in the morning or 5:30 p.m. ET after the market closed, you could use this box to quickly see pre and post market prices, and you could change the colors of those price lines just by using this menu here, this color menu. Okay, some other really cool things about this symbol menu. So we are controlling what we see relative to the symbol on the chart. You could do high and low price lines. You can do average close price line, bid ask price lines, and you could also adjust the data for dividends, which we'll get into. But first, let's go through what we just showed you here. So we just added three things to the chart: high and low price lines. Super important. As you can see, there is a light shaded line here that's running across the chart. See this light line? It goes all the way across. That is your high of the day. See this low shaded line here at the bottom? That is your low of the day. So we've added these to our chart just by going to settings, symbol, high and low price lines. Here it is up here and down here. Average close price line. That is going to show you the average close. And it is a very light line to see, but it's here, 372. And you can choose to hide or unhide that. Lastly, bid ask lines. So bid ask lines are going to show you where the bid and the ask are at any given point for a tradable asset. And it's going to show you where's the buying happening, where are people bidding at, and where's the selling happening, what are people asking for a specific price at. We'll get to this a little later as we make some adjustments to our chart menu, but for now, keep this in mind: bid and ask lines. Okay, adjust data for dividends. This, if you are trading a stock or an asset that pays out dividends, one click will adjust the price for all the dividends that you've received. So if you're following a stock, for example, that collects a lot of dividends or sends out a lot of dividends, this button should be your best friend because you can adjust the price for all of the dividends you received. Moving on, extended hours. What does that mean? Extended hours are related to our pre- and post-market price lines. These are the hours that happen when the market is closed. This primarily applies to stocks that have a set, or even currencies that have a set open and close time. So if you go back to settings, symbols, extended hours, intraday only, we can change the colors here. As you can see, this is going to be pre-market. So in the morning, we have this light color for the morning. And this is after hours. We have this blue for after hours when the market is closed. And you can change those colors right here. Watch what happens. So let's change the morning time, say, to, a dark red. And let's change our after hours to a dark green. And now, as you can see, here's our post-market. Market closes at 4 p.m. ET. And then here's our pre-market, this red. We're going to move our settings box. And there you have it. Now, lastly, in this symbol section, you can adjust your time zone. So where are you in the world? Find your time zone and click it. We have time zones that span the entire world and will make your life a lot easier for understanding these time scales down here. And of course, the precision is default at the moment. So that is for the asset you're watching. But depending on how you want to see price displayed or to what decimal, the precision that you want to see what happens to the price scale here. We're changing the price scale to how many decimals we want to see. But for now, let's keep it default. And there we have it. Okay, we hope that helped. Now, what we're going to do is move to another chart. And for this next chart, what we're going to do is the same thing. Right-click, Settings. Let's uncheck some of these boxes here to clear it up. And let's get started on something new. Let's go to Status Line. So what is Status Line? Well, if you look at the icon here, see this icon? This is a lot like this up here, and that is exactly what you are controlling, the status and the description of the symbol on your chart. So watch, for example, when we uncheck symbol. Did you see what happened? Keep your eyes on this top left region. So we are choosing to show the symbol on the chart or not. It's for our own clarity or how we want to see the chart. And there's two options. So for building a beautiful chart, ticker or description. Description will just show you a little more information about the symbol you're looking at. You can choose to show the open market status. So what's that mean? Well, watch again up here. See that green light that's appearing, this green light? It means the market is open. Really cool, hover your mouse and you know it's open. And by the way, this is helpful for just keeping this open when the market does close. It will turn to a color that denotes that the market is closed. Open, high, low close values. Key here, that's what OHLC means. Open, high, low close. So watch this region here. We click. Now we see O for open, high, low, close. So if we want to hide that or show it, it's one check. Bar change values, that's going to just tell you what the percentage move or the bar change that is occurring. And so watch this little area here. It hides. And if we want to hide everything, by the way, we just uncheck all of these boxes and now look at our chart. We don't even have to look at the information up here. It's just a price chart. For now, though, let's select all of these so that we can see the chart. Okay, show buy sell buttons. This is really important if you are trading from TradingView. By the way, your trading panel is really where you can get started here. And we really recommend you try out at least paper trading so you can paper trade from your TradingView account, manage money without risking anything, just see what it's like. Click connect, follow the steps, and you're good to go. There's also a ton of brokerages that you can connect to down here. All it takes is just clicking connect on the brokerage that you want to connect to. So why are we telling you this? It's because if you go to settings, go to status line, and then show buy sell buttons, see these buttons appear, and watch what happens when we click them. Let's exit this. It opens the trading panel and we can start to trade just by clicking one of these buttons. And as an example, let's connect our paper trading account. Now watch what happens. Our paper trading account's connected. We're showing our buy sell buttons. Let's say we click buy and our market order appears. But of course we can change that to limit and we can define our risk parameters. For example, take profit, stop loss, send an order. And that's just paper trading, remember. So we're not actually risking anything. We're just testing ideas and trading live from the chart. Okay, let's go back to our chart settings. So we right click and go to settings here, status line. And there's our order, executed, modified, fantastic. Okay, now, so here's show buy sell buttons. We'll keep these open for now. Indicator titles. So if you have an indicator on your chart, which of course these are your indicators and strategies, so why don't we add an indicator such as something simple. Let's go to moving average. Let's add our moving average. That's this blue line. So as you can see now, MA, moving average. And let's go to settings again, status line, indicator titles. See how that disappeared? Click MA. So you can choose to hide or show your indicator titles. This is really important. See how the line here is blue and see how this number is blue next to MA? Well, that helps us just know immediately that MA, moving average, blue, blue. And if we change this color, so style, and then let's change this, say, to Let's do a color like orange. Now we see the numbers change to orange. The line is orange. Over here it's orange, and we can quickly find. Let's close this so we can get the our paper trading off the chart. That's what we just did there. So now you see this orange means moving average. Orange means moving average, MA. Let's go back to settings, status line. And additionally, your indicator arguments, which you can check, and that just tells you what your indicator is. So moving average, 9, close. So for example, go to your indicator settings, go to your inputs, and look, length is 9, source is close. So we're calculating a moving average with a length of 9, and it's based off the close. And that shows us that information right here. So we'll just show you that again. Right click, settings, status line, choose to see or hide your indicator titles, or to show what exactly the indicator is calculating. Additionally, there's indicator values. So watch again what happens. This is the value of the indicator. So this is our moving average, orange line. Remember, orange line. What is the value of that moving average? And you can choose to hide or show that as well. So as you can see, here is our indicator value. Here is the bid and ask. And essentially, you can digest all of that information right here at the top right in real time, and you can choose to hide it or show it. If you'd rather see a chart that's empty, go ahead and uncheck everything. So this whole region now is gone. If you want to follow all of these data feeds in real time and show your indicators and your indicator arguments or what the indicator is displaying, make sure these boxes are checked. Indicator values, follow your indicator in real time. And that's how you do that. Additionally, there is a background that you can add to your status line, and that is entirely up to you depending on how you want it to look and feel, and you can change the transparency just by moving this color wheel. Okay, moving on to scales, and actually let's uncheck. Let's keep these boxes actually like this for now. This is good. We can see everything that's going on. And let's go to scales. So what does scales mean? Well, if you look at the icon with the arrows going up and to the right, that should tell you. Scales refer to this here. This is your price scale, and this is your time scale. So time scale on the bottom, price scale at the right, and that's how you're measuring price and movement. You're following a price over time. So these are your scales. Let's change the chart really quickly to get a feel for something new. And let's get started here with our time scales. Okay, we hit settings, we go to scales. Now, because this is the status line, if the status line is up here to the top left, scales, keep your eyes over here. So we're going to hide this section now by moving our chart settings box here. So let's watch what happens here. Symbol name. We click this, you see that? It disappeared. So we can watch it on the chart as we please just by checking or unchecking that box. This is great if you share charts. So if you screenshot your chart, people will always know what symbol is there. It hangs out right there next to price. So let's uncheck this for now. Symbol last price label. Well, watch this region here. We click and the price is gone. Click, price is there. And you can change, the value according to scale. And then you can also see price and percentage. And that's really helpful if you like to measure things in percentages or how your trade is doing. You can choose to show that. So why don't we actually create our own custom layout here where we're showing the symbol name, see that, and the symbol last price and price and percentage value. So it's this right here. Okay, moving on. Symbol previous day close price. Well, this is going to tell you what the previous day close price was. And see this gray box here? Watch what happens. Disappears. Appears. And what we're looking at is we're adding the previous day close price to the chart. So we can watch the current price, that's this region here, relative to the previous close. Just check this box to see the previous day close price. Bid and ask labels. Now remember, we were mentioning this in the symbol section with bid and ask lines. Well, when you go to scales, go to bid and ask labels and click check. And let's actually hide these other things that we've worked through. Let's hide actually all of this for now. And we'll get to this later because this is important. So we've hid everything on the price scale except for bid and ask labels. And you see what's happening here? We now see bid and ask labels on the chart. And let's go to 1 minute to really see them. Wow, yeah, so the spread is, there we go. What we're doing is just expanding our price scale right now to see the bid and ask in an easier way. And by the way, how do we do that? We hover our mouse over the price scale, click and hold, and then drag up or down. Okay, so bid and ask labels. You can see the ask and bid in real time just by checking or unchecking this box. It really is that easy. Okay, let's zoom back out here. And now we have pre and post market price label. Of course, we need to look at a stock specifically for this. Let's close out this. This is a paper trading position that we're going to close out because we just moved to a new symbol. And let's close out these orders. And so here's our bid and ask labels, pre and post market price label. Well, if the market's not open, if it is an hour, say at 8:15 a.m. ET before the stock market has opened at 9:30, if you check this box, you can see pre and post market price labels on the scale. High and low price labels, this is really cool. We actually encourage you to explore this if you're an intraday trader or just following your asset closely. Check out how cool this is, high and low. So you can see the high and lows just by checking a box instantly. Let's hide the bid-ask labels for now because we don't need this. Let's do symbol last price label here. Let's change this back to the value according to the scale. And then, of course, let's add the symbol name. So what we've done there now is we've created a chart of Apple with its current price here that we can easily see. Check, check. And then the high and low price labels. Here's our high, here's our low. And now we can watch in real time Apple trade with the high in mind and the low in mind. Average close price label will show us the average close. See that? Let's uncheck this. Indicator name label. So if you recall, here's our moving average with a length of 9. When we check indicator name label, check it out, MA, moving average. Indicator last value label, sorry for that, check the box. Now we see the last value of the indicator. So remember what we showed you up here, moving average 9, the color is orange. Here's the orange color. We're going to exit this, see the orange line here. We've selected it, this orange line. So now we can quickly identify the moving average across our chart. Moving average, it's also here at the top left, and it's running across our chart in orange. Let's go back to settings because this is important. We can control how we see this on the price scale. So we have our high, we have our low, we have Apple here, and then we also have our Apple moving average. Let's keep that on for now. Financials name label and financials last value label. We'll get into this later. This is if you are showing a financial metric on your chart. And by the way, not sure if you knew this, but this button right here, fundamental metrics for stocks, click it. Now you can chart fundamental metrics. You can work through this just like you would the menu we're showing you now, but this is for fundamental metrics. So for example, total revenue, we click quarterly. And here's quarterly revenue for Apple on a chart. This is a long-term mindset, so let's zoom out to 1 week. And here it is. We can see Apple's quarterly revenue. And as we were saying, settings, financials name, see this, Apple total revenue, financials last value label, you can see the last value. And that is essentially how you would use this with the financials available to you on TradingView. Let's exit out of this and let's get our price scale back to auto so we can see this a little easier. By the way, what we just showed you there is there's a button at the bottom to auto your price scale. And it just automates it so that it looks and fits your screen. When you uncheck this auto, you can essentially create price scales of your own. You can move the chart as you please, and there's no restrictions to how you move the chart. Click auto and it will adjust. Let's get back to it. Let's go to settings, and we are working our way down the settings menu. Remember, the chart settings is how you customize everything happening on your chart. As a quick review, because we're halfway through, symbol, remember, symbol, see the candles here? It's how you control these candles. So you can uncheck any of these, change the colors, hide them, show them. It's all up to you. You can show last price lines. All of these options are available to you. There's status line. Remember, status line is this area up here. And let's actually start to hide some of these because it is starting, now that we're adding a lot to our chart, why don't we make it a little more visually pleasing, and let's start to subtract some things. So now all we want to see, as you notice, we unchecked these boxes, and now you just see Apple and our indicator, clean and easy to see. Scales, remember now, scales, see the up and to the right. It's creating a chart with X and Y axes. Well, that's your price and your time. And that is how you can control everything happening here. So we've gone through all of the time and price scales, and I believe we last ended on financials. No overlapping labels is so that you can try to avoid the aspect of labels running into each other on the price scales. Countdown to bar close, super important. This is one that's often used so that people always know what's happening on their chart and how much time is left until the next candle or bar. So when we check this box, look at this countdown, 4 days and 5 hours. Well, we're on a weekly chart, so this candle represents a full week of trading. Well, it's Monday while we're recording this, so we have 4 days and 5 hours until the next candle. Watch what happens if we go to a 5-minute chart. There's now 2 minutes and 55 seconds left in this 5-minute chart. So this 5-minute candle ends now in 2 minutes, and it looks like 45 seconds. So let's go to settings and countdown to bar close. Click to unhide it. Click to show it. Let's keep it on for now because in our opinion, it's a constant reminder of the time frame we are on and how much time until the next bar begins. Currency. Watch this region at the top right. We click currency. Here's USD. We're pricing this in US dollars. So if you look at assets priced in different currencies around the world, use this and check this box to quickly see what currency you are viewing your chart in. Okay, we are going to now move on to part 2 of this video, and as you can see, we're just getting some messages on our screen. We're going to move to part 2, and we'll see everyone shortly.